De ziua lui. N-ai cum cu Zampi.
Iară faci live, mă?
De unde știi fac live?
Că prinde notificări pe telefon.
Oh, da, un fan, am mai dat drumul la un live, așa că parcă n-am mai făcut de mult și fidez cu Gina de Cherry și amuzant.
Ți-e de la dor.
Mi-era dor să fidez pe live, adevărat.
Bă, mă bate rău divide impera asta. Da. Da. Două. Hai, trei. Ah.
Bine ai venit în riftul invocatorului. De secunde până la generarea minionilor.
Ia, mai să aici.
Ce țipă mama de zăpadă? Bă, afară cerul senin, mă, ce vede mama.
Eu trag sforile, ei dansează.
Minionii au pornit la mișto.
Am emoții
Prima
înainte de
What the
victimă.
fuck?
dar am nevoie de ele.
Wait, what? Fan, adevărat, first blood am făcut pe live.
Mhm.
În spatele fiecărei măști se află o altă mare.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? I repeat, will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
We're gonna have a problem here.
Y'all act like you never seen a white person before. Jaws all on the floor like Pam, like Tommy just burst in the door and started whooping her ass first than before. They first were divorced, sewing her over furniture. It's the return of the. Oh wait, no wait, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he? And Dr. Dre said, nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement. Feminist women love Eminem. Chicka 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 Slim Shady. I'm sick of him. Look at him walking around, grabbing his you know what, lipping the you know who.
Yeah, but he's so cute though.
Yeah, I probably got a couple of screws up in my head loose, but no worse than what's going on in your parents' bedrooms. Sometimes I wanna get on TV and just let loose, but can't. But it's cool for Tom Green to hump a dead moose. My bum is on your lips, my bum is on your lips, and if I'm lucky, you might just give it a little kiss. And that's
Oh,
the
God.
message we deliver to little kids and expect them not to know what a woman's is. Of course they're gonna know what intercourse is. By the time they hit 4th grade, they got the Discovery Channel, don't they? We ain't nothing but mammals.
What?
Well, some of us cannibals who eat other people open like cantaloupes. But if we can hump dead animals and antelopes, then there's no reason that a man and another man can't elope. But if you feel like I feel, I got the antidote. Women wave your pantyhose, sing the chorus, and it goes. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm
Let's go!
you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up, please stand up. Cause I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim
Divide
Shady please stand up? Please stand up,
Dumnezeu.
please stand up. Will Smith don't got a cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do. So him and you too. You think I give a damn about a Grammy? Half of you critics can't even stomach me, let alone stand me. But Slim, what if you win? Wouldn't it be weird? Why? Guys can just lie to get me here, so you can sit me here next to Britney Spears. Christina Aguilera better switch me chairs so I can sit next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst and hear them argue over who she gave to first. Little, put me on blast on MTV. Yeah, he's cute, but I think he's married to Kim. I said download our audio on MP3 and show the whole world how you gave Eminem. I'm sick of you little girl and boy groups, all you do is annoy me. So I have been sent here to destroy you. And there's a
bine, bro. Așa.
I'll be the only person in the nursing home flirting. Pinching nurses' asses when I'm for jerkins and I'm jerking, but this whole bag of Viagra isn't working. And every single person is a slim shady lurking. He could be working at Burger, spitting on your onion rings, or in the parking lot circling, screaming, I don't give a with his windows down and the system up. So will the real shady please stand up and put one of those fingers on each hand up and be proud to be out of your mind and out of control. And one more time, loud as you can. How does it go? The real shady, all you other slim shadies are just imitating. So won't the real slim shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Cause I'm slim shady, yes I'm the real shady. All you other slim shadies are just imitating. So won't the real slim shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Cause I'm slim shady, yes I'm the real shady. All you other slim shadies are just imitating. So won't the real slim shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Cause I'm slim shady, yes I'm the real shady. All you other slim shadies are
Just imitating. So wonder your Slim Shady, please stand up.
Please stand up. Please stand up. Guess there's a slim shady in all of us.
Faream 2-0-1 pe Jin, ca să înțelegi ce se întâmplă.
Mhm.
Și pe ăștia de sar pe linii pe bot lane. Și echipa mea am anivia pe top. Ha, cred. Am anivia pe top. Ce asta, mă? Ah, baby, don't hurt me. No more, no more.
Greutate. Prin 50, da. Deci...
Young money, yeah. Throw dirt on me and grow a wildflower, but it's fuck the world. Get a child out of. Yeah, my life a bitch, but you know nothing about her. Been to hell and back. I can show you vouchers. I'm rolling sweets. I'm smoking.
No
sour.
way, man.
Married to the game, but she broke her vows. That's why my bars are full of broken bottles, and my nightstands are full of open Bibles. I think about more than I forget, but I don't go around fire expecting not to sweat. And these niggas know I lay 'em down, make your bed. Bitches try to kick me while I'm down, I break your leg. Money outweighing problems on a triple beam. I'm sticking to the script, you niggas skipping scenes. Be good or be good at it. Fucking right, I got my gun, semi-automatic. Yeah, put the dick in their mouth, so I guess it's fuck what they say. I'm high as a bitch, up and away, man. I come down in a couple of days. Okay, you want me up in a cage, then I'll come out in beast mode. I got this world stuck in a safe combination. Is the cheat code? This Weezy motherfucker blood gang, and I'm in bleed mode. All about my dough, but I don't even check the peephole. So you could keep knocking, but won't knock me down. No love lost, no love found.
It's a little too late to say that you're sorry now. You kicked me when I was down, but what you say just don't hurt.
That's right, it don't hurt. I don't need you no more. Don't wanna see you no more. Bitch,
You get no love. You show me nothing but hate. You ran me into the ground, but what comes around goes around. And you don't hurt.
that's right,
You don't hurt
and I don't need you
no more.
Don't wanna see you. Bitch,
You get no love. You get no love.
and I don't need you no more. Get 'em.
I'm alive again, more alive than I had been in my whole entire life. I can see these people's ears perk up as I begin to spaz with the pen. I'm a little bit sicker than most. Shit's finna get thick again. They say the competition is stiff, but I get a hard dick from the shit now. Stick it in. I ain't never giving in again. Caution to the wind, complete freedom. Look at these rappers, how I treat them. So why the fuck would I join them when I beat them? They call me a freak cause I like to spit on these pussies before I eat them. Man, get these whack cocksuckers off stage. Where the fuck is Kanye when you need him? Snatch the mic from him, bitch. I'ma let you finish in a minute. Yeah, that rapper's tight, but I'm finished with the greatest verse of all time. So you might wanna go back to the lab tonight and
Ja stai pica vorbedos.
Alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he fucking with that stock. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a prick, he's a cock, the type women wanna be within rappers, hope he gets shot. 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his shit is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of shit that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth that doesn't stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%. Forget Mike. Nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note and he writes every line. And I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those motherfuckers he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Hit her once, please, I swear. I swear.
Look, I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings. But I'm only going to get this one chance. Something's wrong. I can feel it. It's just a feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen. But I don't know what. If that means what I think it means, we're in trouble. Big trouble. And if he is as bananas as you say, I'm not taking any chances. You just want the doc.
I'm beginning to feel like a rap god, rap god. All my people from the front to the back nod, back nod. Now who thinks their arms are long enough to slap box, slap box? They said I rap like a robot, so call me rap bot. But for me to rap like a computer must be in my genes. I got a laptop in my back pocket, my pinnacle walk when I hat cock it. Got a fat knock from that rat profit, made a living and a killing off it. Ever since Bill Clinton was still in office, with Monica Lewinsky filling on his nutsack. I'm an MC, still as honest, but as rude and as indecent as all hell. Syllables, killaholic, this flippity, hibbity, hibbity, hip hop. You don't really want to get into a piss and match with this rappity rat pack and a mac in the back of the yak backpack, rap, crap, yap, 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 kitty, yak, nap. The exact same time I attempt these lyrical acrobat stunts while I'm practicing that, I'll still be able to break a motherfucking table over the back of a couple of faggots and crack it in half. Only realized it was ironic. I was under aftermath after the fact. How could I not blow? All I do is drop F-bombs. Feel my wrath of attack. Rappers are having a rough time period. Here's a maxi pad. It's actually disastrously bad. For the whack while I'm masterfully constructing this masterpiece. Cause I'm beginning to feel like a rap god, rap god. All my people from the front to the back nod, back nod. Now who thinks their arms are long enough to slap box, slap box? Let me show you maintaining this shit ain't that hard, that hard. Everybody want the key and the secret to rap immortality like I have got. Will there be truth for the blueprints? Simply rage and youthful exuberance. Everybody loves the root for a nuisance. Hit the earth like an asteroid, need nothing but shoot for the moon since. MCs get taken to school with this music, cause I use it as a vehicle to bust the rhyme. Now I lead a new school full of students. Me, I'm a product of Rakim, Lakim, Shabazz, Tupac, W-A-Q, hey, Doc, Rin, Yella, Easy, thank you, they got slim. Inspired enough to intake, grow up, blow up, and be in a position to meet Run DMC and induct them into the motherfucking Rockin' Roll Hall of Fame. Even though I walk in the church and burst in a ball of flames, only Hall of Fame I'll be inducted in is the Alcohol of Fame on the wall of shame. You fags think it's all a game, till I walk a flock of flames. Off a planking, tell me what in the fuck are you thinking? Little gay looking boy, so gay I can barely say it with a straight face looking boy. You witnessing a massacre like you're watching a church gathering take place looking boy. Boy, they that boy's gay, that's all they say looking boy. You get a thumbs up, pat on the back, and a way to go from your label every day looking boy. Hey looking boy, what you say looking boy? I get a hell yeah from Trey looking boy. I'ma work for everything I have, never ask nobody for shit, get out my face looking boy. Basically boy, you're never gonna be capable of keeping up with the same pace looking boy, cause I'm beginning to feel like a rap god, rap god. All my people from the front to the back nod, back nod. The way I'm racing around the track, call me NASCAR, NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt of the trailer park, the white trash guard. Kneel before General Zod, this planet's Krypton. No Asgard, Asgard. So you be Thor, I'll be Odin. You rodent, I'm omnipotent. Let off, then I'm reloading. Immediately with these bombs I'm toting. And I should not be woken. I'm the walking dead, but I'm just a talking head, a zombie floating. But I got your mom deep throating. I'm out my ramen noodle. We have nothing in common, poodle. I'm a Doberman. Pinch yourself in the arm and pay homage, pupil. It's me. My honesty's brutal, but it's honestly futile if I don't utilize what I do, though, for good at least once in a while. So I wanna make sure somewhere in the chicken scratch I scribble and doodle enough rhymes to maybe try to help get some people through tough times. But I gotta keep a few punchlines just in case, cause even you unsigned rappers are hungry, looking at me like it's lunchtime. I know there was a time where once I was king of the underground, but I still rap like I'm on my Pharaoh Munch grind. So I crunch rhymes, but sometimes when you combine up here with the skin color of mine, you get too big and here it comes trying to censor you like that one line I said. Oh no, back from the Mathers LP1 when I tried to sell. Take 7 kids from Columbine, put them all in a line at an AK-47, a revolver and a 9. See if I get away with it now that I ain't as big as I was, but I'm morphing into an immortal coming through the portal. You're stuck in a time warp from 2004, and I don't know what the fuck that you mind for. You're pointless as Rapunzel with fucking cornrows. You like normal, fuck being normal. And I just bought a new ray gun from the future just to come and shoot you, like when Fabulous made Ray J mad, cause Fab said he looked like a faggot. Hey, with his pad singing to a man while he played piano. Man, oh man, that was a 24/7 special on the cable channel. So Ray J went straight to the radio station the very next day. Hey Fab, I'ma kill you. Lyrics coming at you with supersonic speed. Summer, lama, doom, lama, you assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I made a rubber so that anything you say is speaking, shaking off of me and it'll glue to you and devastating more than ever, demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never fading. And I know the haters are forever waiting for the day that they can say I fell off to be celebrating, cause I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevating music, you make elevator music. Oh, he's too mainstream. Well, that's what they do when they get jealous, they confuse it. It's not hip-hop, it's pop, cause I found a hella way to fuse it. With rock, shock rap, with dot. Don't lose yourself, I make them lose it. I don't know how to make songs like that. I don't know what words to use. Let me know when it occurs to you while I'm ripping any one of these verses. The verses you, it's curtains, I'm inadvertently hurting you. How many verses I gotta murder to prove that if you were half as nice as songs, you could sacrifice virgins to? School flunky, pill junkie, but look at the accolades, these skills brung me. Full of myself, but still hungry. I bully myself cause I make me do what I put my mind to when I'm a million leagues above you. Ill when I speak in tongues, but it's still tongue-in-cheek. Fuck you, I'm drunk, so Satan take the fucking wheel. I'm asleep in the front, pumping heavy D in the voice. Still chunky but funky, but in my head there's something I can feel tugging and struggling. Angels fight with devils and here's what they want from me. They're asking me to eliminate some of the women hate, but if you take into consideration the bitter hatred I have, then you may be a little patient and more sympathetic to the situation and understand the discrimination. But fuck it, life's handing you lemons, make lemonade then. But if I can't battle the women, how the fuck am I supposed to bake them a cake then? No mistake, it's a fatal mistake if you think I need to be overseas and take a vacation to trip abroad and make a fall on a face. And don't be a retard, be a king, think not. Why be a king when you can be a god?
We pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars. I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing, and another hand soon after you fold. And when your plans unravel in the sand, what would you wish for if you had one chance? So airplane, sorry I'm late. I'm on my way, so don't close that gate. If I don't make that, then I switch my flight and I'll be right back at it by the end of the night.
Ce faci, duță?
Cântam, tu?
Ah, bine, și
Can we pretend like airplanes we're night stars like shooting stars? So wish right now, wish right
Wish right now, wish right now.
Exact. Get back to the day.
What the fuck? Bă, stai să înțelegi și tu. Am plecat de la calculator, nu mergea o problemă. Am venit la calculator, nu mai merge problema.
Îți mergea până ai plecat? Bă, aia să-mi bat picioarele fane, dau cu ultele de gym și să scris avioane. Stai că e moartă, putem să intrăm în trebuie.
Wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Bum! Bă, W mai primul. Bă, da. Ulte fanețe sau avioane, mă.
Bă, la păi, fii-te, mă. 0 e 5.
Arde-l pe ăla, băga mea și a dat zile aia mult. Adevărat că moare după ce se duce. Bravo, băieți. Capa și până voastră.
G minus egal. P dă 0.
Bun.
Value
Ia stai.
plus egal. P dă dă 1.
Report bot lane boat trolling tanks. Ia uzi fane. Și nu vorbesc de mine.
Value is not defined. Value e 0 aici, uite, define eu. Value e 0.
Deci mi-a
E 0, 0. Gata, mă, merge acum, nu mai contează. Putem pune, mă.
Te rog la microfon, un pic, nu?
Doar un pic.
Give it. Thank you. Îmi lasă și redul, băiatul meu. Pah. Pah.
I'm supposed to be the soldier who never blows his composure. Even though I hold the weight of the whole world on my shoulders, I ain't never supposed to show it. My crew ain't supposed to know it. Even if it means going toe to toe with the Benzino, it don't matter. I never drag them in battles that I can handle unless I absolutely have to. I'm supposed to.
Suntem mai avioane pe ultima în echipa asta, fane. Morul te flash.
And even though the battle was won, I feel like we lost it. I spent so much energy on it. Honestly, I'm exhausted and I'm so caught in it. I almost feel I'm the one who caused it. This ain't what I'm in hip hop for. It's not why I gotten it. That was never my object for someone to get killed. Why would I want to destroy something I helped build? That wasn't my intentions. My intentions were good. I went through my whole career without ever mentioning it. And that was just out of respect for not running my mouth.
30, 40, 40, nu, 5.
This just wasn't my beef, so I did. I just fell back, watched and gritted my teeth while he's all over TV. Down talking a man who literally saved my life. Like, I understand this is business, and this here just isn't none of my business. But still knowing that it could pop off at any minute.
Ne-am luat 4 dragoni și șmecherele. Bă, dar să mai dai multe zonii, mă. Nu când dă la ultimă mănâncă.
it's escalated. It ain't just words no more, is it? It's a different ballgame. You call names and you ain't just rapping. We actually tried to stop the 50 and Jobby from happening. Me and Dre had sat with him, kicked it and had a chat with him and asked him not to start it. He wasn't gonna go after him until John started gabbing him. That's how we stabbed him. And 50 smashed him, mashed him, let him have it. Meanwhile, my attention's pulled in another direction. Some receptionist said the source who answers phone to this desk has an obsession for me and thinks that I'll be his resurrection. Tries to blow the dust off his mic and make a new record. But now he's the game up, cause one of the ways I came up was through that publication. The same one that made me famous. Now the owner of it has got a grudge against me for nothing. If that other sucker could get it too. But I'm so busy being pissed off, I don't stop to think that we just inherited 50's beef with Murder Inc. And he's inherited mine, which is fine. Ain't like either of us mine. We still have soldiers that's on the front line, that's willing to die for us as soon as we give the orders. Never to extort us, strictly to show they support us. Or maybe shout them out in the rapper up in the chorus to show them we love them back and let them know how important it is to have Runyon Avenue soldiers up in our corners. The loyalty to us is worth more than any award is. But I ain't trying to have none of my people heard or murdered. Using words that I can't think of a perfect way to word it. Than to say that I love y'all too much to see the verdict. I'll walk away from it all before I let it go any further. But don't get it twisted, it's not a plea that I'm copping. I'm just willing to be the bigger man if y'all can quit popping off at your jaws, well then I can. Cause frankly I'm sick of talking. I'm not gonna let someone else's coffin rest on my
Deci am pus
conscience.
pe... Oh, stai. Scriu pe plus 1 în spațiu. Ah. Fac.
Mă, ce bine joacă Twisted Fate ăsta. Își dă zonia când are ulta de zile, am pe el și după aia moare când iese în zonia, că i s-a dus ulta. Hai cu ultimatele! Bam! Una nimerită! Oh, două nimerite! Am nimerit 2 din 4, e bine. Deci ăsta e personal best.
E mă, handicapatul.
Era să fac o manevră.
Îi scriu pe plus 1, scriu vede de nou. Scriu pe... Scriu... F. Right. Setără. The...
I-am bătut pe ăștia fântâni, adevărat.
Șapte, 5... 50, 10...
2-10, 2-10.
Ah, nu. Stai. Ești ok?
Da. 250,000 miles in a clear night in June, and I may be right at you,
Dostul.
right
Genial.
at you, right at you.
Oh, ce ai făcut, mă, nene, mă?
Schimbăm aici scena pe live. Ce ai făcut, fane?
Fac aici și scheme.
Faci o schemă, ceva?
Da.
Păi, dar nu știu treabă, fane, asta sunt curios.
Așa.
Stai că vrea să casc, așa. Deci eu aici pe live, da? Eu mă uit pe live, gen, dar nu mă uit de pe... Mă uit de pe unde sta special, YouTube, live, dashboard, e altceva, știi? Ca să văd chat-ul și chestii. Și nu știu dacă pe mine aici mă pune ca vizualizator sau nu, că nu cred că...
Dacă ai un vizualizator așa mereu.
Nu! Nu la mereu, asta e ideea, că dacă l-aveam mereu, așa am crescut o perioadă de timp. Am crezut că, bă, sunt eu, știi, că mereu aveam câte unul pe live, așa, știi? Dar, spre exemplu, acum 10 minute aveam 0, gen vreo 15-20 de minute am avut 0 vizualizatori și acum am iar unul. Și nu știu dacă e cineva pe live sau nu, eu asta nu știu. Ia asta eu. Fac o manevră.
Ieși și tu după live și aia e gata.
Aia băgăm pe aia și după aia nu știu câți am, dar... Eu te că suntem 2 streameri. Iată că și băiatul ăsta face live stream, fane. No name, turbo chilling, no mic, best DJ. Uite acum, spre exemplu, am intrat pe live. Nu înțeleg dacă pun și eu șu.
Păi bă... Dublu voi ce e, mă?
250,000 miles in a clip.
Și cum dracu mi-a dat mie?
Înfloresc între masacre ca un
Pe
crin sub
maximum
raze.
de... A, ăsta e maximum de 9 love.
Nu înțeleg,
Ok.
fane, chiar nu știu. Mă, eu nu înțeleg.
Aaaa, mi se pare că dacă fac așa și nici eu... Da, bă...
To make sure that you
Je
guys know
pun
what you're
copii
doing
sau
when
ceva de
warding.
genul.
Make sure to crush that like button so that we know that you guys enjoyed the video. And I promise you that we'll keep these types of videos coming your way. If you guys want more in-depth content, don't forget to check out our website, GameLeap.com. I will be making guides that are only going to be posted on there. And all of the content on our website is made by challenger level players. If you're looking for something to give you an edge over your competition, then check it out in the description below. The first don't is don't ward close to your lane. Just don't do it. It's not a great idea. A lot of people just default to putting a ward in the closest bush, either in the river or maybe even in lane. This might sound like a good idea, but it's really not. The only worst thing that you can do is place a ward under your tower. What you want to aim to do is use your wards as effectively as possible, and this means placing them in smart locations. For most junglers, they can only enter the river in 2 locations, and if they have mobility or the blast cone, then there's 3. But no matter what, junglers always end up heading into the river. Why? Because that's how they can most efficiently gank lanes, and they want the scuttle crabs there. Also, just to be clear, when I say 2 ways, I mean 2 ways on one given side of the map. Obviously, it's mirrored, so there's 4 total. Starting from the top side of the map, you have the Tribush area, the area in between red buff and raptors, the area behind your blue buff, and then the area in front of your blue buff that lead into the river. Don't forget to consider the blast cones and those junglers that have mobility. They can go over closer to top lane and over the objective walls at Baron and Dragon. So, now that we know exactly where junglers can cross over in order to get into the river and start ganking lanes, where should we put our wards? For starters, the Pixel Brush is a really popular contender. For those of you who don't know, the Pixel Brush is that tiny one-man sized brush that's on the way to mid lane from Baron and Dragon in the middle of the river. This ward can spot junglers entering from either side, whether it be from their blue buff or their red buff. It also usually spots out junglers who are killing their scuttle crab. It's a very effective ward at protecting mid lane, so if you're playing mid lane or maybe you're playing jungle and have a control ward to place down, consider putting a ward in the Pixel Brush when you're trying to protect lanes. This is also a consideration that you should make as support, considering that you have the most wards available to you and you don't need them all to just protect your lane. The game also kinda tries to clue you in by showing you where the scuttle crab goes when it dies. That ward is actually very effective at spotting junglers who can take blast cones or even walk into the river from their blue buff. You want to place the ward towards the outside of the scuttle's speed radius. If you put a ward there, you'll be able to spot most of the ramp heading up towards the blue buff and junglers that take blast cone. This is mostly a ward for mid laners, junglers, and sometimes even top laners. If you can place a ward on the ramp leading up into the enemy jungle by their raptors and red buff, you will be able to see them anytime they come out of their raptors or even out of their red buff towards mid lane. If you can combo this with a ward from your top laner or even your jungler towards the enemy tribush or say where the scuttle crab might be, then you can almost effectively cover all of their paths on the top side of the map towards mid lane. The whole point of warding further away from your lane and avoiding warding close to your lane is to get you information as soon as possible. The sooner you see the enemy jungler on the map, the sooner you can react. And this can cause you to survive some ganks that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Let's just take a moment and think about a Rammus gank. Do you think that a ward on the edge of the bush in river is going to save you from
$250,000 miles on a clear night in June. Dude, are you serious? 2 million points with K. Insane. Find a girlfriend or boyfriend or something.
I'll do whatever it takes. When I'm with you, I get the shakes. My body aches when I ain't with you. I have zero strength. There's no limit on how far I would go. No boundaries, no lengths. Why do we say that until we get that person that we think gonna be that one? And then once we get them, it's never the same. You want them when they don't want you. Soon as they do, feelings change. It's not a contest, and I ain't on no conquest for no mate. I wasn't looking when I stumbled onto you. Must have been fate, but so much is at stake. What the fuck does it take? Let's cut to the chase, but a door shuts in your face.
Right.
Promise me if I cave in and break and leave myself open, that I won't be making a mistake.
Nie ma nic. No, minus 0. Łysy. Altceva o tanto. Cum adică 0,5 bă, stai.
So after a year and 6 months, it's no longer me that you want, but I love you so much it hurts. Never mistreated you once. I poured my heart out to you, let down my guard, swear to God. I blow my brains in your lap, lay here and die in your arms. Drop to my knees and I'm bleeding. I'm trying to stop you from leaving.
That's
You
a
won't even
literal,
listen,
man.
so fuck it. I'm trying to stop you from breathing. I put both hands on your throat. I sit on top of you squeezing till I snap your neck like a popsicle stick. An impossible reason I can think of to let you walk about this house and let you live. Tears stream down both of my cheeks. Then I let you go and just give. Before I put that gun to my temple, I told you this. And I would have did anything for you to show you how much I told you.
It's
It's over now, it's too late to save our love. Just promise me you'll think of me every time you look up in the sky and see a star. Cause I'm a spaceman, rocket ship and launch the moon. And I maybe write you, write you. 250,000 miles on a clear night in June. And I'm so lost without you. Without you. Without you.
I'm level 1 by the way. Oh shit, man, I'm so good. What the fuck, man, why stole my kill?
It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find the light, find the light, find the light. It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday.
God.
is torn in half. You wake and it's wake to start the morning process and rebuilding. You're still a work in progress. Today's a whole new chapter. It's like an enormous ass. Thunderstorm is past you. You weathered it and poked its eye out with the thorn bush that you used to smell the roses. Stop to inhale, can't even tell your nose is stuffed. So focused on the bright side that you floor the gas pedal and hit the corner faster. More assertive, never looking back, may hit the curb, but every day's a new learning curve as you steer through life. Sometimes you might not want to swerve, but you have to avert a disaster. Lucky no permanent damage, cause they hurt you so bad. It's like they murdered your ass and threw dirt on your casket. But you return from the ashes, and that hurt that you have, you just converted to gasoline. And while you're burning the past, standing at inferno and chanting.
It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light, find a light. Standing in the flame. It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light.
So familiarized with having to swallow this pill is life. It happens all the time. They take your heart and steal your life, and it's as though you feel you've died, cause you've been killed inside, but yet you're still alive, which means you will survive. Although today you may weep cause you're weakened, and everything seems so bleak and hopeless. The light that you're seeking, it begins to seep in. That's the only thing keeping you from leaping off the mother freaking deep end. And I'm pulling for you to push through this feeling, and with a little time that should do the healing. And by tomorrow you may even feel so good that you're willing to forgive them, even after all the shit you've been put through.
Lol, I
This
miss
feeling
my
of
double.
resilience is building, and the flames are burning quick as fire. With through this building, you're sealed in, but your fireproof flame retardant, you withstood it. And as you climb up to the roof, you're just chilling. You look down cause you're so over them. You can put the heel of your foot through the ceiling. As time passes, things change every day, but wounds heal, but scars they remain the same. But demote is going down in flames. Throw the matches at the past ablaze. So feel the fire beneath your feet as you barely even perspire from the heat. Exhale deep, breathe a sigh of
I'm
relief.
bad.
As you say goodbye to the grief, it's like watching the walls melt in your prison cell. But you've extinguished this
Okay.
living hell. Still a little piece of you dies as you scream.
It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light, find a light. Standing in the flame. It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light, find a light. Feel the burn. Watch the smoke as I turn. Rising. The phoenix from the flame.
Oh, let's go, Warwick. Ah, fuck, he's dead. Okay. Sheesh, Farah.
It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light, find a light. Standing in the flame. It's a beautiful kind of pain. Setting fire to yesterday. Find a light, find a light, find a light.
What?
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. It's alright because I like the way it hurts. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. That's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie.
I can't tell you what it really is. I can only tell you what it feels like. And right now it's a steel knife in my windpipe. I can't breathe, but I still fight. Well, I can fight as long as the wrong feels right. It's like I'm in flight, high off of love, drunk from my hate. It's like I'm huffing pain. I love her the more I suffer. I suffocate right before I'm about to drown. She resuscitates me. She fucking hates me, and I love it. Wait, where you going? I'm leaving you. No, you ain't come back. We're running right back. Here we go again. It's so insane, cause when it's going good, it's going great. I'm Superman with the wind in his back. She's Lois Lane, but when it's bad, it's awful. I feel so ashamed. I snap. Who's that dude? I don't even know his name. I laid hands on him. I never stoop so low again. I guess I don't know my own strength.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn.
What?
That's alright
Please don't.
because I like the
Please
way
don't
it
watch.
hurts. Just gonna
I'm actually 100% trolling, man.
You ever love somebody so much you can barely breathe when you're with them? You meet, and neither one of you even
Ah.
got that warm fuzzy feeling, getting chills used to get them. Now you're getting fucking sick of looking at them. You swore you'd never hit them, never do nothing to hurt them. Now you're in each other's face, spewing venom in your
That was
burst when
fucking
you
loud,
spit 'em.
man.
You push, pull each other's
It's
hair,
funny.
scratch, claw, pin 'em.
Hope a diamond, please. Right.
Lost in the moments when you're in 'em, it's the phrase that the cold break controls your boat. So they say it best to go your separate ways. Guess if they don't know you 'cause today
Oh shit, that Q dodge. Suck my dick, man. He beat me in auto attacks, man. Pana, mă stream pe live dacă te gândești că vorbesc de nebun.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it hurts.
God damn, I'm so bad, man.
Just gonna
And I had such a free game.
stand and hear me cry. But that's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie.
You know, I really like to play ADC, but I'm bad as ADC, you know. But I still like to play it. It's a bit annoying when I'm feeding like this game, but
things that we didn't mean, and we fall back into the same patterns, same routine, but your temper's just as bad as mine is. You're the same as me when it comes to love, you're just as blinded. Baby, please come back. It wasn't you, baby, it was me. Maybe our relationship
No.
isn't as crazy
Okay.
as it seems. Maybe that's what happens when a tornado meets a volcano. All I know is I love you too much to walk away. Though, come inside, pick up your bags off the sidewalk. Don't you hear sincerity in my voice when I talk? Told you this is my fault. Look me in the eyeball. Next time I'm pissed, I'll aim my fist at the drywall. Next time there will be no next time.
I apologize even though I know it's lies.
I'm tired of the games. I just
Oare,
wanna
cum să scap de băieții de pe live? Încep să cânti.
fucking leave again. I'm tired to the bed and set this house on fire.
Băieții, băiatul pe une.
Stand there and watch me burn. But
That's
alright because I like the way it hurts. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. But that's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie.
Mano, it's another song, okay. Dun, dun. Man, tell me if you like how I sing, man. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I take a look at my life. Not now. I don't know the lyrics now. Oh shit! Oh, let's go. Red buff. I'm too good, man. Some hard. You better watch out. Look it when you're walking.
You and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street lights.
I've been spending most of the lives living in the gangster's paradise. Ooh, spending most of the lives living in the gangster's paradise. Ooh, been spending most of the lives living in the gangster's paradise. Ooh, spending most of the lives living in the gangster's paradise. At the situation with the face, I can live in more life. I was raised by the street. Yo, man, so he give me a mark.
Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker. And my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die.
What can I say?
I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know.
Why are we so blind to that for once we The money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour.
Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they
If I
can't
can understand, how can they reach me? I guess they can, I guess they won't.
I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool.
Why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we?
Why are expectations so high? Is it the bar I set, my arms I stretch, but I can't reach? A far cry from it, or it's in my grasp, but as soon as I grab squeeze, I lose my grip like the flying trapeze. Into the dark I plummet, now the sky's blackening. I know the mark's high, butterflies rip apart my stomach. Knowing that no matter what bars I come with, you're gonna heart gripe. And that's a hard fight getting to swallow. So I scrap these as pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking because
Vem montage play. Hop! Futu-te. Pá! Boa.
it's the curse of the standard that the first of the Mathers disc set. Always in search of the verse that I haven't spit
Pá,
yet.
pá.
Will this step just be another misstep to tarnish whatever the legacy, love, or respect I've garnered? The rhyme has to be perfect, the delivery flawless, and it always feels like I'm hitting the mark till I go sit in the car, listen and pick it apart. Like this shit is garbage. God's given me all this, still I feel no different regardless. Kids look to me as a god, this is retarded. If only they knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive. And I try not to listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Pac, Big, James, Todd Smith, that I'm not Prince. So
I ain't no Jesus.
But only when it freezes, 'cause I'm only human, just like you, making my mistakes. Oh, if you only knew, I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh.
it's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest. A flawed human, I guess, but I'm doing my best to not ruin your expectations and meet 'em. But first, the speed 'em verse. Now Big Sean, he's going too fast. Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? There was a time I had the world by the balls eating out my palm. Every album song I was spazzing the fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned and frowned on. But the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long?
Begs the question though, especially after the methadone is yesterday fades and the Dresden home is burnt to the ground and all that's left of my house is lawn. The crowds are gone and it's time to wash out the blonde. Sales decline, the curtains drawn, they're closing the set. I'm still poking my head from out behind. And everyone who has doubt remind. Now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes. And as I grow out of sight, out of mind, I might go out of mind. Cause how do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made a fucking tightrope out of twine? But when I do fall from these heights, though I'll be fine. I won't pout or cry or spiral down or whine, but I'll decide if it's my final bow this time around, cause
I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water, but only when it freezes. 'Cause I'm only human,
Just like you.
I've been making my mistakes, so if you only knew, I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do. 'Cause I'm terrified
Nu, lasă-mă, 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 lasă-mă.
to let you down.
Păi lăsați-mă în pace, măi, bully me.
I walk on water, I'll drown.
cause I'm just a man, but as long as I got a mic, I'm God-like. So me and you are not alike, bitch. I wrote Stan.
Where's my snare? I have no snare in my headphones.
Have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have. I've been protested and demonstrated against. Picket signs for my wicked rhymes. Look at the times. Think it's the mind of the kid that's behind. All this commotion, emotions run deep as oceans explode. Tempers flaring from Paris, blow 'em off to keep going. Not taking nothing from no one. Give 'em hell long as I'm breathing. Keep kicking ass in the morning and taking names in the evening. Leaving with the taste of sour.
Ne fute ăștia oarbic.
See, they can trick 'em, but they'll never figure me out. Look at me now, I bet you're probably sick of me now, ain't you, mama? I'ma make you look so ridiculous now. I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry.
Bă, ce rapide aia. Să moară tanțetele bar de fugi când ne felește ăștia toți.
I'll take you back to 73. Before I ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. I was a baby, maybe I was just a couple of months. My father must have had his panties up in a bunch, 'cause he split. I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. No, I don't. On second thought, I just wished he would die. I look at Haley, and I couldn't picture leaving her side. Even if I hated Kim, I grit my teeth and I try to make it work with her. At least for Haley's sake, I maybe made some mistakes, but I'm only human. But I'm man enough to face them today. What I did was stupid, no doubt it was dumb, but the smartest
Adică am mental problems.
out of that gun, 'cause I'd have I would've shot Kim and them both. It's my life. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Eminem show. I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. One more time. I said I'm sorry, mama.
I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet.
Nah, I would never diss my own mama just to get recognition. Take a second to listen. Who you think this record is dissing? But put yourself in my position. Try to envision witnessing your mama popping prescription pills in the kitchen.
Yeah, dead as you as could be. I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but then I'm cleaning out my closet. I said I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but then I'm cleaning out my closet.
Am mâncat, tata. Alo. Ce faci, mamaie? Mulțumim, mulțumesc. Am auzit. Wow. Nu doream. Nu. Nimica.
He's coming home with
Da,
his
da,
necks
da.
wrapped to catch black. Sweat jackets and dress slacks mismatched on his breast jack. He's a sex addict and she just wants to exact revenge and get back. It's a chess match.
She's on his back like a jetpack. She kept holding
on
on.
and guess he just happens to be moving on to the next. Actually just shit on
Băi, cât de prost ești, Darius!
Mulțumesc.
Psychopath and you don't fuck with no
Da,
man's
mamaie.
girl, even I know that. But she's devised some
Darius.
plan to stab him in the back.
Yo, chill.
Tainted by a strand. So she's been on the
Da,
road
da.
lately. Says maybe she'll
Should
be
be
my
my
wing
Wednesday.
Bine, mamaie. Pa.
And I know she's using me to try to play him. I
Ah,
don't
zic să
care.
dea solo
Suzanne, I
direct.
should have said bye, Suzanne, after the first night. Tonight I am.
I don't want no scrub is the guy.
One night stand, turned into nightstand. It was calling some lights grand. Now we hung tight and he found out. Now she feels deserted and used cause he left. So what he did it first to her too. Now how am I supposed to tell this girl that we're through? It's hard to find the words, I'm aloof, nervous and sued. I want this to hurt, but what you deserve is the truth. Don't take it personal, I just can't say this in person to you. So I revert to the studio like hole in the wall diners. Don't have to be reserved in a booth. I just feel like the person who I'm turning into. Irreversible, I prayed on you like it's church at the pew. And now that I got you, I don't want you. Took advantage of my thirst to pursue. Why do I do this dirt that I do? Get on my soapbox and preach my sermon and speech. Detergent and bleach is burning the wound. Cause now with her in the womb, we can't bring her in this world. Shoulda knew to use protection for I pitted to your forbidden fruit. Fuck!
Băi, ai luat-i asua, dragon, sunteți nebun la cap.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Hey, what can I say? If life was a highway, deceit was an enclave, I'd be swerving in 5 lanes, speeding at a high rate, like I'm sliding on ice. Maybe that's why I made that came at you sideways. I can't keep my lies straight. What I made you terminate my baby. This love triangle left us in a rectangle. What else can I say? It was fun for a while. Bet I really would've loved your smile. Didn't really wanna abort. But fuck it, what's one more lie to tell an unborn child?
Cheat on my sins, need holy water, washing over me. Little one, don't wanna admit to something. It's gonna cause this pain. The truth in my lies now are falling like the rain. So let the river run. River run, river run, river run.
I'm friends with the
From Aramis just sonicking his way into your lane, taunting you? No, it's not. You don't have enough time to react. However, if you place a ward further up, say where we mentioned earlier towards the Scuttle Crab around its speed up radius, you'll be able to see when the Ramus starts his roll and you'll be able to spot him out sooner. That's a lot of extra time to be able to react and back off if you need to. A lot of these ward locations are mostly prevalent in the early game. However, as the game goes on, you will absolutely want wards in the river and on river entrances in order to prevent the enemy team from flanking you. Being clever, creative, and resourceful with your wards has been a great skill to have, especially since they introduced the ward graves. For those of you who don't know, if you place a ward, once it dies, it will leave a little marker for both you and the enemy team to show that a ward was there. If you keep placing them in the same areas, the enemy team will start to notice, and therefore probably start sweeping out your wards. You want to make sure that you cover good angles with your wards, but don't do it too much. Otherwise, people are just going to be able to anticipate them and then play around them. This point ties directly into the second don't of warding. Don't ward without a reason. Before you place a ward, you need to think. Think about what is going on the map. Think about where the enemy jungler is. Think about what it is that you need to do to win. If you're getting the impression that the enemy jungler is on your side of the map, then yes, you absolutely should place a ward watching out for their ganks. But don't just place all of your wards all at once. That's not efficient, and they're gonna run out in 3 minutes. They can just gank you after that point. You want to ward as little as possible to give you as much as possible. In order to do this, you want to consider the factors that we just went over. You don't want to ward if the enemy jungler is on the opposite side of the map. Maybe you would want to ward deep in their jungle to figure out when they are on your side of the map, but you don't just want to place a ward in the river on your side for no reason, and you better not place one just in the river brush because you know where they are already. You don't need that ward. You don't have a reason to place it. Another good example is when facing enemies that have teleport or a teleport ability like Twisted Fate. You might actually want to put a ward deeper in your lane in order to spot them out and see where they're walking. That way you can warn a lane or potentially even stop their ability to teleport by walking up and following them. Please remember, don't just ward without a reason, especially if you are support, but it also matters if you are just using a warding totem. They are valuable resources and you want to use them well. If you just place them willy-nilly, they're gonna get cleared by your opponents and you're gonna be putting gold in their pocket. And this feeds directly into our third point. Don't place wards that you cannot defend. Obviously, this changes depending on what type of ward it is that you're placing. If it's a blue ward, yeah, you can throw that on top of a Baron or a Dragon and not really worry about an enemy passing by and clearing it, or maybe even spotting people out on an objective and them killing the ward. That is absolutely fine. This concerns the regular wards and the control wards the most. Control wards are very expensive, 75 gold each. If you just place them randomly and have to replace them every 2.5 minutes, that is terrible. You're gonna end up wasting hundreds, maybe even more than 1,000 gold on wards in a game, and they're not gonna be doing much for you because you're wasting them. You want to put your control wards in key strategic positions that you can defend. One of the areas we mentioned on our first point about not warding close to your lane, the pixel brush is a popular place for control wards, and it just makes sense. It's a really easy way to get into the river, and usually if you control the pixel brush, you control that side Scuttle Crab. If you see an enemy walking towards one of your control wards, and it is within your ability to defend it, you absolutely should do so. Don't allow them to clear your ward out for free, and even more, don't allow them to get 25 gold for free. It can be difficult to make the choice as a laner to either farm the wave or go and defend a ward. Usually, farming the wave is more efficient for yourself. However, if the control ward dying puts you at really great risk of being ganked, you might want to consider choosing to defend the ward over the wave. At that point, the ward has technically done its job. It gave you information on where the enemy jungler, or just enemies in general, are, and you can play away from that area so as to make yourself less vulnerable to what it is that they're trying to do to you, be it a gank or a tower dive. But, just like it says in the name, you lost control over that area. Control wards are a very powerful tool, but they need support. They can't just be left there alone. If you place a ward and it just gets cleared 15 seconds later, that's a really big waste, and you don't want to let that happen. The same thing goes for regular wards. However, you can use regular wards to help protect your control wards that matter the most. Let's say you're trying to get Baron. You put a control ward in that pixel brush in the middle of the river. Where should you place your regular wards in order to protect the vision control that you have? Well, first, consider the angles that your opponents can come from. Regardless of what side you're on, they can absolutely come through the mid lane river brush, so consider putting a ward there to warn you of when your opponents are coming. If you're on blue side, then one of the places that they can come from is their red buff and Raptors ramp. So maybe you want to put a ward closer to their red buff to spot out their movement ahead of time. Even if the wards that you are placing in these locations are getting swept and killed, they are 1, wasting their time on the ward, and 2, still don't have vision in the Baron pit or of most of your team. Let's not forget, these wards that are dying are also protecting your control ward, and it gives you an opportunity to set up an active defense and prevent them from clearing your important vision for free and getting to the locations that you want to keep them out of. Depending on your team comp, you might have that dream scenario where you can 2-man Baron with, say, a Cassiopeia mid lane and an Olaf jungle. The rest of your team should absolutely be placing wards and preventing the enemy from approaching the Baron pit. If they're walking over wards and they're sweeping them, they are gonna be scared because you have skill shots and other things that you can engage on them with and scare them away from the pit. You are protecting the most important vision and, more importantly, vision denial that the control wards give you. And you're doing this by playing up with your normal wards and playing aggressively to defend them and your control ward.
Monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me. Stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy. Yeah, you think I'm crazy.
I wanted to fame, but not to cover a Newsweek. Oh well, guess beggars can't be choosy. Wanted to receive attention from my music. Wanted to be left alone in public, excuse me. But wanting my cake and eat it too. And wanting it both ways. Fame made me a balloon. Cause my ego inflated when I blew seed. But it was confusing. Cause all I wanted to do was be the Bruce Lee of loose leaf abused ink. Use it as a tool when I blew steam. Woo! Hit the lottery, ooh wee. But with what I gave up to get, it was bittersweet. It was like winning a used me. Ironic, cause I think I'm getting so huge I need a shrink. I'm beginning to lose sleep. 1 sheep, 2 sheep, going cuckoo and kooky is cool key. But I'm actually weirder than you think. Cause I'm
friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along
Mira.
with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me. Stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy. Yeah, you think I'm crazy. Well, that's not fair. Well, that's not fair.
No, I ain't much of a poet, but I know somebody once told me to seize the moment and don't squander it. Cause you never know when it all could be over tomorrow, so I keep conjuring. Sometimes I wonder where these thoughts spawn from.
Yeah, ponder it. Do you wonder? No wonder you're losing your mind the way it wanders.
I think you been wandering off down yonder and stumbled on to Jeff Van Vondren. Cause I need an interventionist to intervene between me and this monster and save me from myself and all this conflict. Cause of everything that I love killing me and I can't conquer it. My OCD's talking me in the head, keep knocking. Nobody's home, I'm sleepwalking. I'm just relaying what the voice in my head saying. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just friends with the
monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me. Stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy. Yeah, you think I'm crazy. Well, that's not fair. Well, that's not fair.
call me crazy, but I had this vision. One day that I'll walk amongst you a regular civilian. But until then, drums get killed and I'm coming straight at MC's blood gets spilled. And I'll take it back to the days that I get on a Dre track. Give every kid who got played that. Pump the feeling and shit to say back to the kids who played them. I ain't here to save the fucking children, but if one kid out of 100 million who are going through a struggle feels it and relates, that's great. It's payback. Russell Wilson falling way back in the draft. Turn nothing into something, still can make that. Straw in the gold jump, I will spin. Rumpelstiltskin in a haystack. Maybe I need a straight jacket, face facts. I am nuts for real, but I'm okay with that. It's nothing, I'm still friends with the
monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me, stop holding your breath. Then you think I'm crazy.
Bro, stop running around like that. Damn.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me, stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy, yeah, you think I'm crazy. Well, that's not fair.
Wait, healing reduction first item.
Well, that's not fair.
Yo, wait up!
I got a song filled with shit for the strong-willed. When the world gives you a raw deal, set you off till you scream, piss off.
Screw you when it talks to you like a Roman.
Along or tells you you're in the wrong field when something's in your mitochondrial, cause it latched on to you like knock knock, let the devil in, malevolent as I've ever been. Head is spinning, this medicine screaming, lick 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 medicine, it lick lick like a solid ball. Edgar Allan Poe, bedridden, should have been dead a long time ago. Liquid Tylenol, gelatin, sneak my skeletons melting. Wicked, I get all high when I think I smell the scent of elephant manure. Hell, I'm in Kahlua, screw it, to hell with it. I went through hell with accelerants and blew up myself again. Volkswagen, tailspin, bucket matches my pale skin. Manwin, went from Hellman's and being rail thin, flare fish. Scribbles Jam Rap Olympics, 97 freak Nick. How can I be down mean? Bazaar in Florida, Bruce room, slept on the Florida motel then. Dr. Dre said hell yeah, and I got it stamped like a postcard, word to mailman. And I know they're gonna hate, but I don't care. I barely can wait to hit him with the snare in the face, square in the face. This fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum.
Thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em.
When they get beat with the venom, I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum. Thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em. When they get beat with the, I said knock knock, let the devil in. Shotgun, pip pellets in the felt pin. Cock fuck around and catch a hot one. It's evident I'm not done. Bit venomous, the thought spun like a weapon. You're discarding them. Held against your will like a hubcap or a mud flat. Beat strangler attack. So this ain't gonna feel like a love tap. Eat painkiller pills, fuck a blood track like what's her name's at the wheel. Then a cup patch through the car in the reverse at the Indian compression in the other back of the just mangled steel. My Mustang in the Jeep Wrangler grill with the front smashed. Much as my rear fender assassin. Slim be a combination of an actual kamikaze and
Gandhi, Gandhi. Por la beta dragón.
probably kill us both when I end up back in India. You ain't gonna be able to tell what the fuck's happened in India when you're bit with the adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum. Thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em. When they get bit with the venom, I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum. Thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what
rock bitches going down like young Jock. Cause the doc put me on like sun rock. Why the fuck not? You only get one shot. Ate shit till I can't taste it. Chased it with stray liquor, then bathed in it. Then drank till I faint and awake with a headache. And I take anything in rectangular shape. Then I wait to face the demons I'm bonded to. Cause they're chasing me, but I'm part of you. So escaping me is impossible. I latch on to you like a parasite, and I probably ruined your parents' life and your childhood too. Cause if I'm the music that y'all grew up on, I'm responsible for you the arson fools. I'm the super villain, dad and mom was losing their marbles too. You marvel that Eddie Brock is you, and I'm the suit, so call me Venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up in 'em. Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em when they get bit with the venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up in 'em. Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em when they get bit with the. These ideas are nightmares to white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings. Like whatever they say has no bearing. It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing. To see him walking around with his headphones blaring, alone in his own zone, cold and he don't care. He's a problem child. And what bothers him all comes out when he talks about his fucking dad walking out. Cause he hates him so bad that he blocks him out. If he ever saw him again, he'd probably knock him out. His thoughts are whacked. He's mad, so he's talking back, talking black, brainwashed from rock and rap. He sags his pants, threw rags in a stocking cap. His stepfather hit him, so he socked him back and broke his nose. His house is a broken home, there's no control. He just lets his emotions go. Entertainment is changing, intertwining with gangsters. In the land of the killers, a sinner's mind is a sanctum. Only you're unholy, only have one homie. Only this gun, only cause don't anyone know me. Yet everybody just feels like they can relate. I guess words are a motherfucker. They can be great, or they can degrade, or even worse, they can teach hate. It's like these kids hang on every single statement we make, like they worship us. Plus all the stores ship us platinum. Now how the fuck did this metamorphosis happen? From standing on corners and porches just rapping to having a fortune, no more kissing ass. But then these critics crucify you, journalists try to burn you, fans turn on you, attorneys all wanna turn it to get their hands on every dime you have. They want you to lose your mind every time you mad, so they can try to make you out to look like a loose cannon. Any dispute won't hesitate to produce handguns. That's why these prosecutors wanna convict me, strictly just to get me off of these streets quickly. But all they kids be listening to me religiously, so I'm signing CDs while police fingerprint
Oh, ce dat la home.
El le dă fier la minion cu ulta fier, mă, să
Eu te ai dat uite și uite și pe ăsta la.
Are. Păi nu mă, că am vrut să-i dau dive acolo la Atrox. Dar...
Da, ce?
Nu, și-a dat ultă și-a dat fier la minion, mă, și n-au intrat minionii primii, am intrat eu primul și a trebuit să mă retrag, că dai seama că mă beleau minionii. Mă belea turnul altfel. Oricum acum ai uite-l pe fraierul ăsta cu 1-1, că stă pe lângă top.
Îmi place cum se aude și relare cum te vai supă pe aici.
Aha, ca joci cu sunet mare, nu? Și se aude relare. Aha. Morți. Și e nu pe top lane. Că așa se
Eu sunt presunetul că nu mai înțeleg nimic, mă nebunesc.
Păi eu
Dar propriu nu nebunesc că vorbești mult, nebunesc, nu mai înțeleg ce se întâmplă, care vorbești.
Nu prea e cum să...
Nu-mi dau seama care vorbești tu și care vorbește pe live. Dar și unul vorbește mai tare tu și ăla pe live mai încet, dar nu contează.
Uite-mi și pe cât a scăpat morții, mă, Sirun.
Bravo, Mădusă, bravo, Mădusă.
Unde bravo, mă?
Și acum iau, te bate nu unul.
Mea cu pulgări, între ui.
Dau ce-a venit sau aia după mid.
A venit, haara! 5 cu 1 Diana aia.
E după mid sau pe jungle?
E mid. Că jungle e boul ăsta de Mundo. Dăm de niciun gank. Ia uite-l, primul gank.
Pe ce mă aveți Mundo și voi?
Cum e că și nu e că iau Atrox. Și nu.
Da, stai Mundo, m-am gândit la nu.
Uite-o pe Diana, m-am vinat. Bah! Am murit.
Stai că deocamdată ești mort. Uite acum pe Diana cu mine pe mine acolo la 3 băieți. La 4 bărbați, eu fac. Aolo, Dianu, aolo, Dianu, dă-mi bă. Hai că am făcut 1v5. Ce itemul ăla de la Nami? Sau n-aveți Nami voi? Ba da.
Care item? Care niciun item special?
Deci dacă dai pe tab la Nami ai ceva albastru.
Al doilea item, așa e itemul nou de suport.
Da, nu știam. Faci tu Infinite ca aia, ca Diana? Ce, fii atent, să duce baronul, ia uite-l.
I don't care anymore, Mundo, you never cared. We literally tell you what to do, and you don't. And then say you are out of it. You're bad. Ai mă 4, man.
Îmi place că mă uit la tine cum faci flame și în direcțiune luare, asta mi se pare deja un flame adus la alt nivel. No, it's coming. Then ia bărbă un pic.
Oh, wow! Wow! Was that hard? Fugi că ne fute ăștia. Hai că te-am salvat acolo, prietene. Bun, ne-au lăsat free Drake.
just sneeze, but I just go 1, 2, then I cheese.
Yo, guys, dintre ăștia cu Herald în bază iară. Nu știam că așa începe melodia asta.
It would be better if the game meant nothing at all. This album is
E
less.
mișto melodia asta, fain adevărat.
I can't sell this.
Yo, Drake, just let it run.
I can't sell this. But either change the record or it's not coming out.
Shut up and listen. He's back with this pack. Dar de ce cenzurat?
But at least have the decency in you to leave me alone when you freaks see me out in the streets when I'm eating.
That's my twin.
Come and speak to me. I don't know you and no, I don't owe you a thing. I'm not Mr. Instinct. I'm not what your friends think. I'm not Mr. Friendly. I can be a if you
Au că mă enervează. Asta e cenzurat, frate, rahat. Auto asta e.
and whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Pe ce am fan melodie de la Eminem și cenzurată?
Hey yo, turn the beat up a little bit. Hey yo, this song is for anyone. Fuck it. Hey yo,
I sit back with this pack.
Zigzags in this bag of this weed. It gives me the shit needed to be the most meanest MC on this earth. And since birth, I've been cursed with this curse to just curse and just blurt this berserk and bizarre shit that works and it sells and it helps in itself to relieve all this tension, dispense and these sentences getting the stress that's been eating me recently off of this chest. And I rest again peacefully. But at least
Tu să joci CS mă după aia?
Mamă, nu te uita ce am pe live. Nu știu.
Ah, hai cum e repede.
Nu, că te rog, am dat un flash.
Ia, ai dat dive-ul.
Un flash, un flash.
Ah, auto și pune una. Am intrat așa, o să ai în cău și acolo e nimic.
Măcar n-am murit. Am murit acum. Glumeam. N-am murit, ia stai.
N-am murit.
Bun, aici am jucat-o bine.
Ia băieți ăștia pe aici, e nimic. Raul ăștia ce fac, mă, pune?
Nu știu, nu sunt pe Discord? Da, nu e nimeni pe Discord. Nu știu unde sunt. Toate astea să fie pe afară, totuși. Raul cu Beșel să fie pe afară, s-ar putea. Ilie ăla nu știu ce face. Și George nu știu de ce mai face câte ceva. El a fost atras cu arc, nu știu ce face.
Cine?
George trage cu arcul sau nu știu ce face. Kiki ăla.
Roșu?
Woo, let's go! Fane, watch on stream, watch on stream. Fane, uite pe stream.
Ah, asta e că l-am închis, nu mai.
Oaie, ce play am făcut, ești prost. Whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the papers, in the news, every day I am. Radios won't even play my jam. Cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, it's just the way I am.
I'm so sick and tired of being admired that I wish that I would just die or get fired and drop from my label. Let's stop with the fables. I'm not gonna be able to top on my name is pigeonholed into some poppy sensation that caught me rotation at rock and roll stations, and I just do not got the patience to deal with these cocky Caucasians who think I'm some wigger who just tries to be black. Cause I talk with an accent and grab on my balls, so they always keep asking the same fucking questions. What school did I go to? What hood I grew up in? And why, the who, what, when, and where, and the how? Till I'm grabbing my hair and I'm tearing it out. Cause they're driving me crazy. I can't take it, I'm racing, I'm pacing, I stand and I sit. And I'm thankful for every fan that I get. But I can't take a shit in the bathroom without someone standing by it. No, I won't sign your autograph. You can call me an asshole, I'm glad. Cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. Radio won't even play my jam. Cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, it's just the way I am.
Vrei să dau? Că dacă dau... Că dacă dau, eu dau, nu mă joc. Bun, ai jucat-o bine pe asta. Ia uite cu e pământul, cum se bate cu e acolo, 1v9. Triplu asasinat! Can't end actually. Ba dacă vine Lucian îl batem. Ok, we can't end the run. Get the fuck out. Ok.
Vă mulțumesc mult! Sănătate și dumneavoastră! Să rămână mulțumit! Da, stai, nu suntem așa, n-ar la asta. Păi da, așteptăm să termine.
Așteptăm să termine facultatea, da.
Da.
Știu ce zici, mă, fane? Cum face profesor, te mă ispitești cu un CS după aia?
Vrei să joci?
I don't know.
Ce?
Nu știu.
Păi eu te întreb ca să știu ceva.
Stai că terminăm acum și vedem dacă joc sau nu. Bă, sunteți nebun la cap, vere!
Așa, așa. Multă sănătate.
Am stopaci. Let's go!
Alo,
Aaaa, ce-a cărat pe ăștia, fărei!
mâna, mulțumim.
God damn!
Să rămână, mulțumim la fel și dumneavoastră. Vă ascultați familie. Doamne ajută. Nu m-ați deranjat, era la încărcat și nu l-auzam. Noroc că m-am dus spre bucătărie și atunci am văzut că suna.
Is the one you put up when you don't give a fuck?
Am stat așa. Am fost ieri pe
Mă,
la
frate,
masă.
că e șmecherul versul. The way
Să rămână.
I am lyrics. Ia. De ce?
Doamne ajută. Așa să fie. Doamne ajută să rămână. I-am spus că am mai și vorbit cu dumneavoastră.
He was on funny, and it seems like a media immediately points a finger at me, so I point one back at him, but not the index or the pinky or the ring or the thumb. Is the one you put up when you don't give a fuck, when you won't just put up with the bullshit they pull, cause they full of shit too. Mamă, ce mișto sunt asta. Dar nu când o cânt eu. face unul funny Casiopeia. If you don't know how to play,
Ce zici, tata?
funny face una
Ați
magică.
văzut?
Casiopeia, if you don't know how to play, then go play, then don't play. That's so simple. Go play Poro King if you're good. Te joacă de Poro King dacă nu știi te joci. Joacă-te acolo Casiopeia, că acolo o să te descurci. The index or the ping is the one you put up when you don't give a fuck.
Da, deci mai am de recapitulat așa de backtracking chestii. Backtracking în Python am făcut divide azi, pam, gata. Site-ul ăsta îi pune steluță că e bun.
E de asta eu Counter-Strike Global Offensive, uite, băiatul meu, meci.
Ce băiatul
Fane,
tău?
m-a ajuns să fac misiuni de aia co-op, te rog eu frumos, că am făcut cu George, dar George...
Păi și nu e cu ceva misiuni co-op cu compe?
Ce? Co-op sunt alea, gen, să faci, știi cum făceam?
Știu, dar nu e ceva misiune și pentru compe, cum aveai pe alea să câștigi de oriunde de pistol sau chestii de
Nu știu,
genul.
stai să văd dacă am vreo, nu știu dacă am. Bă, dar să știi că sunt misiuni de la co-op, știi cum sunt? Nu sunt cum era în trecut, gen... E de la de vă plăcea vouă, că știi că puteți descarci hărți cu misiuni co-op, de alea sunt. Gen, să te plimbi pe hartă, te duci, te bați cu băieți, te duci ei, nu știu ce armuri, faci de astea, gen. Nu e de aia, gen, doar să
Faci urât.
nu e de aia să aperi un site sau o chestie de genul. Ha, mă, că să morăm ăsta pe bune fane, e grea misiune adevărată, zic.
Da, mă, dar jucăm un... Hai, n-au o misiune de aia, să vedem, să mă încălzești, după aceea